Hey everybody, welcome to Code Rabbit. In this video, we're going to dive into unit testing and learn about how to use testing frameworks like Mocha and Chai to write our tests. Now let's see what is unit testing. A unit is the smallest testable part of any software. It usually has one or few inputs and usually a single output. The purpose of unit testing is to validate that each unit of the software performs as designed. So we can define unit testing as a level of software testing where individual units or components of a software are tested. In the world of JavaScript, things can get a little trickier because it runs on the front end of a web page. The easiest way to handle this is with separate JavaScript libraries like Jasmine or QUnit, but we will focus on Mocha and Chai in this video. Mocha is one of the most popular Node.js testing frameworks that many hands-on developers prefer. Its flexibility as it allows you to write your own custom testing libraries from scratch, and to install it is just like installing any other npm package by using the command npm install and the name of the library or framework. Now let's go to the editor and see how we can write unit tests using Mocha. You can start by creating a directory called test at the root of your project, within which you can put all your test files. Here I have a test file called example.test.js where I have this code piece for unit testing. First, we import the assert module that provides a set of assertion functions for verifying invariants. To begin our test suite, which is a group of logically related tests, we use the global function describe that has two parameters, a string and a function. The string is the name or title of our group of tests. Here we're calling it simple test, but usually the string refers to what is being tested. The function is a block of code that implements our tests. The it function defines a single test, and we are using the assert.equal method to test the operation 1 plus 1, which is passed as an argument and the expected result as a second argument. The result of executing the operation will be compared to the expected output, which determines whether the test passes or fails. Before running the test, make sure you have Mocha in your testing scripts in the package.json file. To run our test, we use the command npm run test, and as you can see, our test group titled simple test is being executed and both our single tests are passed. Now let's see how a failed test would look like. We can start by changing the expected result from 2 to 3, for example, which is not the result of 1 plus 1. And by running npm run test again, you can see that we have an error already. The test title should return 2 has failed, and that's because 1 plus 1 does not equal to 3. And we can see this down here, that the expected result was 3, but the actual result of the operation is 2. By default, Mocha is a testing library which can work with other libraries like Chai.js for assertion testing. Chai allows for more than just basic true or false test results, and it enhances the flexibility you already get with Mocha. Similar to Mocha's assert.equal method, we can use Chai to write tests like English sentences, which we will see now. Installing Chai is just like installing any other npm package, where we use the command npm install and the name of the library. Here's an example where we start with requiring or importing the Chai library and then assign it to a variable. And then we can say, for example, expect, then pass our operation 1 plus 1, and then our expected result to equal to 2. We can also use should. We need to import it, and then for example is true, which is boolean value, should equal to our expected value, which is true. Now let's go back to the editor and see how we can update our test file and use Chai. First, we need to import the expect method from the Chai library, and we can use it instead of using assert or equal. And so expect, and then we pass our operation, and then to equal, and then we pass our expected value. We can run these tests by typing npm run test, and as you can see, all our 4 tests are passed. The test group titled simple test using assert the equal, and the test group titled simple test with expect using expect. Now let's try to make this closer to reality, and let's have a couple of functions in a different file that we want to test. For example, a math.js file that has a function to add 2 numbers and a function to multiply 2 numbers. In our test file, we can start by importing the Chai library and the expect method. We also have to import our math file, which has the functions that we're going to test. As you can see, I'm using the scribe to group our tests into a larger group holding all the math function tests, and within this group there's another 2 groups, one for adding, one for multiply. And now we can run npm run test. As you can see, all our tests are passed. We have 2 tests for adding and 2 tests for multiplication. On the surface, testing can slow down development. However, if you think from a more macro level, you can see how easily having a full test suite alongside your code has a massive long-term benefit. Having a mindset where tests are a requirement and not a nice to have will make you as a developer write more modular and reusable code, as you will avoid writing messy and hard to test code. Please let me know what you think about this video in the comments below, and if you find it useful, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.